How do I look? Does it fit me? No? Alright, well, I forgot to take out my special ed helmet while getting under the vehicle. And I hit my head as I was coming out. I wasn't thinking about it. And I made some contact with the track bar right here. It may have been here, one of the places. But it got me. But I'm alive. I'll be all right. But let me show you what's been going on. So I actually edited out, well, I deleted the second part, or the second drive, the second test drive. So when I went from the first test drive, and then it went straight into me talking about the drive shaft being loosey-goosey, that was actually after the second test drive. Let me tell you, oh, kind of go backwards and tell you how it was. So I got under here after the second test drive, and the yoke, I kept calling this the pinion. It's the yoke that goes on the pinion. But this yoke was completely loose. I could shake this yoke itself up and down, side to side. The nut holding it on was just finger tight. And along with that, it was having this issue. Why is it gonna move? There we go. The drive shaft was going up and down like that. That's how it was the first test drive. Second test drive, I tightened the nut holding the yoke on, and then I tightened these straps. But then that's when I found that the slip yoke itself, the old one, was all loosey-goosey. So right now, I'm taking out the drive shaft, and then I'll talk to you about these clips that are an issue on the front side, which you might be able to see it right here. See how close that one is to the edge? That's no bueno. You want it recessed in there like that one. But if I can just get that one clip to go in, will be good, because I'm going to be replacing this yoke that has the cutouts, the recess. Oh, now you don't want to go back up and get out of the way. There we go. See, notice this doesn't have any, you probably can't see it, but there's no cutout here. It's either recessed and cut out farther down into there to have this big groove that the U-joint cap sits up against, or sometimes there's actually just some cast that is left over the edge right here, and that holds the U-joint cap in place too. So we're gonna slowly exit from under the vehicle and get that drive shaft out. All right, let's check out this slipped yoke. So now we can get a better look. See how deep in there that is? That's how you want it to be. That one's, that's the one that's kind of sticking out. You could tell because you can see that this gap right here in between these two it's a lot closer together than that one. Notice here, that gap right there, no gap really, big old gap. So we need this, nope, that's a good side. We need this side to go in a little bit more. So let's get this out. And we need, see, the ridge is just right in there. You can see the ridge. And what's weird is this drive shaft company sent these typical type of snap rings, which are skinnier, I believe. So let's test that and see if that one, if I can get the skinnier one in. Because if I can't get this, if I can't get any of these snap rings in, then the whole drive shaft will have to be have to get a different drive shaft basically. Oh, bless you. Thank you. So let me try to one hand this. Need you to go down. Let's see. Oh, that dog hair from my Great Pyrenees. Okay, stay. Well, let's just try to press it down right now. I can't tell if it's in there or not. It's like right there. It's so close. So close. Almost in there. Alright. Also noticed last video, I say alright a lot. So. Oh, it's right there. I wonder if the issue could be I need to put the snap ring, the same skinny snap ring on this end. Come on. Come on. That's how you want it to be in there. There we go. So let me grab the other snap ring. That cap is also way farther down there. So let me give this a light tap. To kind of push everything. There we go. But now, obviously this side might be an issue. Oh, I think we got it. Oh, let's give it a few more love taps. There we go. There we go. No! This side popped out. What? Come on, let me win something. I know y'all are waiting for me to hit my hand. So close. So about an hour later, I'm still dealing with these snap rings now on the opposite end. I got that snap ring in. This is what I was messing with before. That snap ring in. But then now these snap rings aren't going all the seating all the way in. They will on one side. This one's not even, so this one's not even in right here. It's in the corners, but not down here. So I just need to find, I need to go grab these types of snap rings, and that should fix that issue. But so I was gonna record getting this out, but I didn't even have to do anything. Where's the nut? Oh, the nut's still under there. But I just loosened the nut, and this literally just slid right off, which is what it's not supposed to do. And this is the gasket, and it is absolutely gone. There's no really gasket left. But this is what I've been talking about since last video. See how that's just all flat surface? There should be cutouts in the middle that are recessed, like I've said a million times already, so that the cap sits down in that recess and can't move out. And then that keeps pressure on it to where it can't move out, and it keeps pressure on it towards pushed in. Whereas right now it's just completely flat, which is, I've never seen that before. So no telling if this been an issue before or what, but I'll be getting the other yoke tomorrow from O'Reilly's. Also, you got to make sure you have an 8.5, 8.6, or 12 bolt GM rear end, and they're all 30 spline. If you have an 8.2, they are 26 spline or 28 spline. So you gotta be able to decode what your rear end is. So that is it for today, really, because now I'm waiting on parts. So tomorrow I will actually record me doing some work, because this video should definitely be much shorter, as long as we don't have any more drive shaft issues. So I guess we'll find out. So a couple days later, had to wait on parts. O'Reilly's, in fact, did not, well, they had the yoke, but it wasn't supposed to show up till November 1st, and that definitely wouldn't work. So got this one from Summit, and here's what I've been talking about the whole time. See the little not cutout, but the piece, that little tab right there, holding the U-joint cap in place, and also it is recessed for it right there. That's where this has absolutely nothing. So that's interesting. If you know why this is like this and why this would be used, or how the U-joint caps are supposed to stay in place other than just being strapped down, please let me know, because I've never actually dealt with one of those. Anyone I've had has always had that little tab to keep them in place, and that's exactly how it keeps it in place, just like that. So it can't shake itself loose, and we end up having the issue we had in the last video, where the drive shaft falls out in the middle of trying to test drive it. So let's get this one on, the drive shaft in, and cross our fingers that I don't have to deal with this drive shaft any longer. Oh, I got the other snap ring in also. So I got that snap ring in. I had to order some snap rings, and they definitely, I got an assortment thinking that I would get the snap ring like that, but they were quite a bit bigger. But it was probably a good thing, because I was able to really use a flat tip and a hammer and get it all in that groove. So this is super tight to move, which is exactly what you want. not all loosey-goosey like I showed you in the last video. So let's get this on. Let's get the drive shaft in. I'm going to leave it jacked up. I'm going to test it before we drive it. Leave it jacked up, put it in drive, let it spin, and see what it does. Most likely you're not really going to get much unless we got the full weight of the car on the ground, but I'd rather test it that way. Get back under there, check it, make sure all these are still in there, and make sure that we don't have any issues with the rear U-joint shaking. So let's get to that. So it's the next day and Amazon finally showed up. I've been sitting around twiddling my fingers waiting for them to show up. And last night we got this yoke, which it's really, so the last part where I was all pissed off and frustrated was technically my fault, because I should have looked at the slip yoke, the old one, and then like last night looked at slip yokes I was ordering and made sure that they matched up. But we got to learn somehow, and I learned that not all yokes are the same, even if they go on the same rear end. So now we know. I cheated because I've been waiting all day. I've been antsy. I cheated and I went test fit, and it slides right on perfectly like it's supposed to. This one also, see, this one doesn't have that piece that this one has. So it has that cast piece that sticks up like that, and it also has the indentions, not indentions, but the recesses for the cap. This one doesn't have that, but it has the recess for the cap, and this takes a 1350 U-joint cap, which is what came off the caps that came off the old drive shaft. And you can see that that's how it's supposed to fit in there. It's not supposed to go in there like this and just slide in and out. But one thing I noticed with these caps is that they are, so I basically answered my own question with how this yoke works on the drive shaft. Well, look at this cap. See how it's just round? This is a little rubber piece. It's just round and there's nothing there. Well, look at this one. It has a C-clip. So that is what holds this from going out, not that way, coming out this side. So either A, I really need that cap, so I hope it didn't go off into the abyss where I'll never see it again. A, we learned, or A, you already knew that, and you were sitting there telling me how much of an idiot I am. Ah, here we go. This cap just went full 10 millimeter on me and disappeared. I'll find it in a second. But anyways, we learned why that's like that, and you obviously got to have those specific caps with the clips on it. But I still would always rather have the ones that have the cutouts or that piece that sticks out right there. So I'm gonna get this stuff ready. I'm gonna find that cap. I gotta find the other cap. It might still be on the drive shaft, and then we will get to putting this in. Also, when I cut over yesterday, and I said, well, like you just saw, blah blah blah, it was because I recorded me trying to put that new not working one on, and out of frustration I just deleted it right away, so didn't get to see that. But anyways, let's find this cap and then get all that together and then get everything I need under there, and then just cross our fingers once more, cross our fingers and our toes that we don't have any more issues. So we are back to the table. I recorded putting the yoke on. And as I was doing that, gear fluid was just pouring from the rear end. So I was like, well, I'm already this far. So I put the yoke on, I put the drive shaft in with just these straps, but they definitely didn't, they worked, but not as good as these will. So I did that, I put the drive shaft on, and I drove down the street and back, and no issues for the most part. I really need to get it up to speed. But I mean, the drive shaft didn't fall apart down the street like it did last video. So that's a good sign. I didn't feel any vibration going up and down the street, but we will just see when I get to higher speeds, because I can only do like 30 miles down the street because a lot of kids play on the street, and that's even too fast for it. But the issue is this metal piece, spacer, I have no idea what it's called. Let me know if you know. So this is how it went. So this was loose when I pulled the old yoke off, and it had been leaking gear fluid out of the rear diff, and it's because you're not gonna stand up straight because I got the U-bolts in it. Because when I put it on and bolted in, there's about oh, can I get it? There's about that much of space in between it and where it's supposed to seal. And basically I need a shim or a spacer. And what I came up with is exhaust pipe. So I'm going to take this exhaust pipe, I'm going to cut it probably just a little, let's see if I can, probably just going to cut it about right here, use about that much of it, something like that, maybe a little bit more. And I'm just going to stick it, I'm going to stick it on, where should I put it? Should I should. So I'll probably go. Of course, I put those U-bolts on, and now they're just causing me to take longer doing this. So should I put it on that way? No. What am I doing? That's the wrong way. So I need to put it. I need to cut the piece. Put it on here first. Oh wait, that's not even the right one. Wait, no, that should work. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking about it right. So this or this. So we'll go with this side. I'll cut this tab off. Actually, it may not matter. It'll go like that. It'll go like that over it. No, wait. Oh my goodness. So it's gonna go on like that. Yeah. Okay. So we'll cut the 2.5 inch. This is probably the OD outside diameter. 2.5 inch. It'll go on this side, and then it'll be the spacer in between this and this, and that'll make this press all the way up against the seal and stop it from leaking. But we are going to do that tomorrow, because I know if I try to do it now, one, I'm gonna be out here till 3 o'clock in the morning punching things, and I'm gonna want to take it for a test drive, and I have no interest in breaking down the street and having to push it back at nighttime, at least. So we will get to that tomorrow. This is getting ridiculous. I've never had these issues. I've really never messed with pinion seals or pinion yokes, but I've worked on enough old Chevys that this should not be this difficult. So I have recorded about 30 minutes worth of stuff that I just ended up deleting, because all it was, I would go to put stuff in like this and whatnot, and it would just be issue after issue, and I'd have to just take it all back apart. So I just deleted all that. And catching you up to speed, where we are at, the pinion seal most likely is what the issue was. I thought it wasn't. Long story short, most likely is. Now, so you saw where the pinion yokes were different, why we had to get a new one. Well, just look how much wider this one is. Well, specifically here. And this one, not so much. So this seal fits around here perfectly. And it seals just like it's supposed to. But this is not what came out. This seal is identical to what I pulled out, but doesn't fit the new yoke, but it fits the old yoke perfectly. And the other issue is this fits the new yoke perfectly, but it does not go into the diff like the old one does. This one is like just like maybe 2 centimeters too wide. This, on the other hand, is perfect because it's identical to what came out. And also, this is for 1970 and up, 8.5 inch rear end. This is for a 69 Camaro, 8.5 inch rear end. So my guess is that it's a later model 10 bolt rear end under there, or it's a early 70s. So that's why it takes this one. I have no idea. But this yoke, we can't use it because it just obviously the issues that I've already talked about. So I need a seal like this, but that is the width of the inner diameter of this one, so that it goes over the new pinion yoke. And I'm just so tired of this because I've made a gear oil mess under there. All my clothes smell like gear oil now. And if you don't know what gear oil smells like, pop open a rear end, and that smell is what I smell 24/7 now. So I'm gonna go back to O'Reilly's. I'm gonna just I'm basically just probably gonna order all the seals they have, and then do some more online searching and order Amazon. I don't know. I have no idea. You guys have no idea the headaches I've been dealing with, because if I actually recorded them, this video would be about 4 days long. So I'm doing you guys a favor, but I need you guys to truly understand what I'm going through. Has not been fun. This should be stupid simple. It is a 69 Camaro. They make absolutely everything needed for a 69 Camaro. There's 3 trillion different companies that make anything for a 69 Camaro. It's a 69 Camaro, one of the most popular cars ever. And I'm having this insane issue. So hopefully next time we cut back, I have this issue figured out. Okay, so I just bought them all. I looked up 68 Camaro, 69 Camaro, 1970 Camaro. And of course, the 1970 Camaro seal is what fits. So notice, this is the one for 1970 and up. This is the only thing that comes up for 69 and down. And obviously, this is what came out, and this is what matches. So, like I stated, the inside diameter of this one is too small for the original yoke, but fits the new yoke perfectly. But the outside diameter is bigger than what came out. So this one's the same as the one I've already had. So we're gonna try this one, and I'm 99.9, 100% sure that those aren't going to fit. So the only other option at this point is put the original style steel back in, put the original yoke back in, and see that clip is what holds it in place up against the inside of the yoke. So I have to make sure that that clip is exactly how this is now while it's on the yoke. And then what's weird is these are the straps that came off of it when I pulled it off originally. But if you notice that gap, and even with me tightening the bolts, it doesn't press down completely on the top of the cap. So I'm not sure if it's always been loose, but I have these smaller ones that I kind of forced to fit before, but these caps that I made fit, and these caps that came off the old drive shaft are what I had on it in the last video when it fell apart. So I don't know. I got the snap rings to seat and on the slip yoke side of the drive shaft. So maybe that's what's been causing the whole falling apart issue, was the vibration was just going down the line. And I don't know, but I'm gonna throw those in, which might end up me coming back to just saying, well, okay, we got the old yoke in and the old seal in, and we're gonna try it and see what it does. So let's get more head banging on the wall. So like I said, probably end up with the old yoke, and that is where we're at, because that was the only seal that worked with the yoke and the diff. And the only issue is it not having anything on the outside right here. Or maybe it did and it broke off. I don't know. I don't think so. But because I've seen other yokes while looking for yokes for this that are the same exact way, that don't have anything. But the only issue is there's no tab, no recess, no nothing for these caps to sit against or sit in to keep them pressed up against the U-joint. So I got those clips at the bottom. I got it rotated to where the clip is up against the bottom of the yoke under here on both sides. And I tightened those bolts the absolute tightest you could get them. And I'm pushing up and down on the drive shaft right now, and there is no play. So we're gonna start it while I'm still in the driveway, so that if I break down, I'm still in the driveway and I don't have to push it down the street again. And we're gonna see if giving it RPMs will loosen it up or what. Hopefully I don't do this and then go test drive it and then it wait to fall apart when I test drive it, but I guess we'll find out. I felt vibration just there. That was in reverse, but I don't know if it was just the whole rear end because it was on jack stands. The drive shaft is still tight. I'm gonna hit it once more with the water guns and make sure it stays tight. And then we will go for a test drive. All right, test drive 3046. All 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 3046. 30 AC while I got it. And might as well get comfortable before I break down. Oh yeah. So, I'm nervous. Are you? The yoke is just the issue. If those caps can just stay in place, then we'll be good. Or maybe the drive shaft just isn't actually balanced. Okay, let's take it slow. Too bumpy. I can't tell what's bumpy and what's vibration or what's kind of wiggling. I really don't want to break down on this main street because it's highway speeds. And I can't just push it home real quick. Well, real quick. It definitely wasn't real quick last time. Steering is tight, jeez. Turns those corners really well. Oh, I'm getting nervous. I'm just so tired of this. Taking forever to shift. Which, I mean, it's shifting. I think I'm just in my own head right now because of how nervous I am. About 40 right there, and I thought I felt some vibration, but it kind of went away. What's going on with the RPMs and the shifting, because it was shifting great. Alright, here we go. Test drive number like 5 for me, but y'all have only seen a couple. Do it? No. Vibration. I think I got up to about 50 and it started vibrating. So we're on the, luckily these roads turn back to where I need to go close enough to where when I first hit that road I don't have to come down really far to be able to turn back to go back to my house. Yeah, about 60. heavy. I wonder if it's just the drive shaft. I'm just at a loss now. I just do not. Because if I get back and I get under it, and the drive shaft isn't loose at the rear yoke, and all the snap rings are seated in the slip yoke, the only thing I would think is the drive shaft itself. See, like right now we're good. Getting to about 45, 50, and right here, right there, heavy vibration. And it's definitely drive shaft related. This is just ridiculous. So the drive shaft is nice and tight. There's no play whatsoever back here where it fell apart, nor the front slip yoke. So I'm just lost. My assumption is the drive shaft just isn't balanced correctly. That's the only thing I can think of at this point. So I'll be back whenever, hopefully, I got this issue fixed or not. So that's it for me. The Camaro build is done on my end. I mean, the swap has been done, so that's technically what the videos were about anyways, but I'm not a drive line guru. I did everything I could possibly do to try and figure out the vibration. It is either something in the diff, or most likely the drive shaft isn't balanced correctly. It's 100% tight at the slip yoke. It's 100% tight at the rear U-joint caps. So I'm just at a complete loss. The owner decided he's gonna come pick it up next weekend. So I'm gonna spend this week just really kind of going back over it, checking bolts and letting it sit and idle and make sure it stays nice and cool, make sure the AC stays cool and the heat stays hot, and adjust the shocks and stuff. But as far as this video, or this series of videos on the Camaro build, it is done. But on the bright side, I did a lot to it. I mean, AC, heat, suspension, engine, transmission, I mean, center console shifter, steering wheel, gauges. So try not to beat myself up too bad over it, but I'm very disappointed that I couldn't get it 100% to where he could hop in it and drive off, because that was the whole point. But the drive shaft, this is just an unexpected, it's just a car thing. It happens. So if you're dealing with car stuff like this, you build stuff, you either understand or you're gonna find out. So make sure you watch my video so you don't have to find out the hard way like I do. But appreciate you guys watching. Like, subscribe, let me know about if you want. I had somebody ask about doing stickers, wanting to do some Crusty Classic stickers put on their car. So I don't know, tell me what you think about that. If you got any tips for me, if you got any knowledge for me, or if you just want to talk some trash, comment section is wide open. Let me know. I'll see you guys on whatever the next worthy video is.